Welcome back to the Bak'n Show. In today's episode, we're going to go over the AC Infinity on your left and the Gorilla on your right. The Gorilla 10 has the banana crumble. The AC Infinity has tester runs, tester strains in there, 3 of them. The Funky Apples times Whitechapel front right, Funky Apples times Sour Funk front left, Funky Apples times Full Sin back left, and Gary Payton back right. Let's get a closer look at each one of these tents. Oh yeah, by the way, the 4x4 here with the 4. Today is harvest day, so I want you to get a nice close look at these girls here before we cut them down. And I'm also going to bring out the microscope so you can get a closer look at some of the trichomes on these plants. This is day 63 of flower. It's end of week 9, so I think we pushed her far enough, probably a little further than we needed to push her, but I wanted to push her as far as I could, see what she does, give her an opportunity to fade out like I expected her to. Most of them did, but that Funky Apples times Sour Funk didn't fade out as much as I thought she would. Her leaves are starting to turn black more than fading out. But yeah, let's get a closer look at each tent. I'm gonna start with the banana crumble. Over here, banana crumble. This is a 2x2 tent, 2x2.5, correction. Plants are doing great. This is day 1 of week 8 of flower. This is remember the re-veg plant. So this is actually the 2nd harvest out of this same pot, this same exact plant. So let's get a closer look. As you can see down here are all the larvae stuff that I didn't really expect to do much, because part of that is all the new growth from when I re-vegged it and started her over. As you can see, quite a few branches are missing down there because that's where it was harvested from the first time around. And all this is the new growth. And here in the last couple weeks, this little larvae stuff that you see down in here, all this started swelling up a little bit. It was much smaller than this about a week or 2 ago. But this isn't amounting to anything, so I'm not even gonna bother messing with any of that. It smells great though. But what I really wanted is up here. These monsters up here. Every top across the top of this plant is huge. It's getting so big that they're all flopping down. Let's see, take a look at this one here. See how she just, it's a big old cola, but she flopped down along with all the other ones in the back there. I have 2 trellis nuts up, but I guess I didn't have it up high enough to stop them from flopping, like all of this. Look at that size, look at that thing there. That cola is huge, and she is sticky. Another big one. Look at this one back here. But yeah, she's huge. Day 1 of week 8. We're going to take her to the end of this week here and see what she does. And then if so, we'll push her to week 9. And that's probably where we're going, to week 9. Let's take a look at the 4x4, which is coming down, like I said, today. These plants are the end of week 9, day 63. And she is looking great. These nugs on every plant in here are rock hard. I mean rock hard. So I am not mad at nothing with this one here. These are all going to be the producers. Huge heads on all of these plants. This is the Funky Apple Sour Funk right in the front. And she is doing good. First time I've run this one here, this particular pheno. And these, like I said, this is test runs. Now, I am running the same pheno here. Not same phenos, correction, same strain, different phenos. There's 3 different other phenos I'm growing to this one. And another tent, a 2x4. And I believe one of them have hermed. And I'm talking about that in a separate video from this one. But they kind of going to go together because they're all being harvested together. But yeah, that one particular one hermed. This one here, I haven't found any seeds on this one here. So I'm pretty sure which one of the phenos hermed on me. So I'm gonna definitely have to run them again to see if that's the case. And when I do run them again, I'm gonna run these plants in separate, these phenos in separate tents, and then I can find the culprit. But I think if it's good enough smoke, let's correct myself here. I mean, it looks great. It's frosty as hell. Look at the frost on these plants here. No complaints whatsoever here. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can get a better frost look. Let's take a look at that one there. Look at that. She's a frost monster. And that one there. Got some haze of some purple, hues of some purple correction starting to develop in there. But she's a frosty beast. Let's take a look at another plant. And this one here is fading out much better than the other one that we just looked at. And this is the Funky Apples Thomas Whitechapel. You're getting the fall colored leaves starting to develop in her. And her too is a very frosty plant. But let's zoom in and get a closer look at her buds. Yeah, there she go. No complaints whatsoever with her. Smells great. She's probably the strongest smelling plant in the tent, but the least frosty plant in the tent. But as you can see, she has some great frost on her. But if I'm saying she's the least, you can imagine what the other ones are. The other two are going to look like. Now the Sour Funk, if you're right next to her, slide over here. That's her frost level. And she's frostier than the Full Scent, but she doesn't smell as strong. Let's take a wee trip to the back. And this is the Funky Apple Sounds Full Scent. I crossed up the name of the previous, the Whitechapel, the Funky Apples Whitechapel. That's the smellier one. Now this is a frostier pheno, a frostier strain, Funky Apples Full Scent. And you see how frosty she is. Frost everywhere, all on the sugar leaves, all the way down here. Yeah, even on the bigger leaves. Look, all that frost there. And that's one of the bigger leaves that are left. I took quite a few of the real big ones off. Let's take a look at another bud, like that one. Look at that. She's a frost monster. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bud. Nice rock hard bud too. So again, she'll be a good producer. All the way down here, frost everywhere. And the nugs that you see all the way down there in the middle there, all of them rock hard. So yeah, she's going to be a producer. And then last but not least, that's the Gary Payton. And I didn't make that strain, so that's why I'm showing her last. And she's a beast. Faded out beautifully. Let's get a wider look at her. Look at that. Fading out beautifully. Nice size colas all around. She's leaning against the back of the tent back there. So yeah, let's get back close again so we get some closer looks at her nugs. And she's a frost monster also. You know, Gary Payton been around for a little while, so people know about her. And she smokes great. So that's why I'm keeping her around. But like I said, today is harvest day in this tent. So when I start cutting her down, zoom back out. When I start cutting her down, I'll turn the camera back on so you can get a closer look at the plants individually. But that's all I have for you for this tent, the Banana Crumble. Like I said, she's on day 1 of week 8. And we're going to push her to the end of week 9 before harvesting her. So that should give us enough time, with this being harvested today, hung up, it's pretty much giving her 2 weeks to dry before she'll be ready to go in and start her drying process. So like I said, once I start the harvest process here on this tent here, I'll turn the camera back on so you can get a closer look at each plant. I wanted to come back and give you a quick look at the trichomes before I cut the girls down. And this is what each one of them look like. I'm just using my finger there, my tablet there in front of me. so in front of you, so you can see what they look like. Let me zoom in on each one of the plants. This one here, the first one is going to be the Funky Apples Times Whitechapel. And this is using my, I meant to show you that before I started showing you the video. My USB microscope. See the LED lights in the front of it. So yeah, here we go. As you can see, you got some amber down in there. Let me get you some closer looks so I can get closer to the plant. I don't want to get too close till it gets unclear. Here's a good look here. If I can get it clearer than that. Get too close, yeah. As you can see some amber down at the bottom of the screen. Everything else is pretty cloudy. Let me find another spot. I'm still on the same plant. Yeah, here you go. That's a great one here. As you can see, there's plenty of amber in there, and everything else is cloudy. So yes, this is day 63. Going over to the next plant, this is the Funky Apples Times Sour Funk. As you can see, the same. As I move around just a little there. Plenty of amber. And everything else is cloudy. There's another spot on the same plant. Plenty of amber in there. Nice clear shots. We're gonna switch plants again. This is the Funky Apples Times Full Scent. And once again, you see all that amber in there. And the last plant is the Gary P. And that's what she looks like. All cloudy, some amber in there. Grab another bud. Much more amber in this one here. So yes, they are definitely ready to come down. I just wanted you to get a good look at what they look like, what the trichomes look like. In just a minute, I'm going to be cutting it down. I'm going to turn the tripod around so you can see that also. All right, we're back. We're about to start cutting this down. Like I said, I was going to put you on the tripod, let you watch my process of cutting it down. As I do it, I'm probably speed through it so you ain't got to sit and watch me try to pull each one of these plants out of these 3 trellis nets. It's going to be pretty easy to do this first one here in the front because it's only going through the first one, but the other 3 plants have made it all the way through all 3 trellis nets. So I want to massage it up without destroying the plant so much. You know, I am going to get some buds probably fall off or break a branch here or there, but that's expected. But just as long as I take my time, I'll get them out of there with no problem. So let me get started. And like I said, we're going to time lapse through this little section here. Just like that, she's out. So let me turn so we can get a better look at it. Buds. She's definitely a producer. Everything's nice and dense. All the way down here, this is nice and dense. Solid bud. So yes. Glad I made her. So far. And once we dry her up and see how she smokes, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that's her. Let me hang this one up and we'll go to the next one. Ash trout snap with this much foliage, always gonna be the toughest. So you just take your time, especially with these reusable elastic ones. Just take your time and weave the buds back down out of the net. Eventually you'll get them all down through there, and you can just keep working the net up higher. Yeah, all that down there now. And it did get tangled up in here quite a bit. So this is a little harder to get through, but again, as long as I take my time, I'll figure it out without doing too much damage. So yeah, there we go. Spin the camera around so you get a better look. Too far into the light. Actually, could turn this way. Yeah, she's a biggin'. This is the Whitechapel, the Funky Apples times Whitechapel. Plenty weight on her. Plenty. Nice size buds. Nice and frosty. So, yeah, she's a nice producer. It smells fucking fantastic. But yeah, there's quite a bit of bud up in there. And there's some nice buds all the way down here. This how long that pole is. And I'll hold hang. I don't take any of the leaves off, the big leaves, especially when I grow it out this well. I'll just let them just dry up to the end, help protect the trichomes. And we're harvesting her in about, I say from 10 to 14 days. So in that ballpark there. All right, so let me get this one hung up. All right, we just got 2 to go. Let me get back in there. And that's the full scent. Funky Apples full scent. And again, this was definitely a nice harvest. Can't wait to wear her up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful frosty. Nuts. But yeah, that's what she looks like. Give it a little shake. So you see it's some definite weight up in that girl. So yeah. Alright, let me get this one hung up. I just went ahead and cut this last one down. Forgot to turn the camera back on. It only took me about 2 minutes to get it out of the net. And as you can see, I'm spinning this around. The nets are all right there. All pots are empty. Shouldn't take long to get that net, that tent ready to go again. And this is the Gary Payton. And see how well she grew. Sorry with that. Nice big huge nugs. Nice and frosty. So again, it should take them 10 to 14 days for it to dry. She smells fantastic. And she grew just like I hoped she would. I have no complaints about any of those plants I just took out of that tent. They all grew amazingly. And I just can't wait for them to get dry. We can get some weight on them. And I can taste how they all came out. All right, this is the girls drying. I guess this the, I have Funky Apples Full Sing, a Gary Payton, and the two below down there. I can't see the tags, but that's the sour, Funky Apple Sour Funk, Funky Apples Whitechapel. But this is where they hang. This is my bathroom down in my basement. So this is their bit of drying area for the next 2 weeks. And I'll be adding a few more plants over on this side. They hang right here. Alright, well that's all I have for you in this video. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay baking.